Excellent. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm joined by my live studio audience. So, do you remember when Sir Keir Starmer did this?
Britain can do better. Labour will do better. We will end this farce. We will restore serious government to our borders, tackle this problem at source, and replace the Rwanda policy permanently.
Yay. He scrapped Rwanda and he called it a gimmick.
We had a gimmick for a number of years called Rwanda.
The thing about that Rwanda scheme is they had that in place for 2.5 years, and they sent 4 volunteers, and it cost the taxpayer £700 million. So that just wasn't working in the slightest. It was a gimmick.
This is an expensive gimmick, and it's a distraction from the real work that needs to take place.
Gimmick, gimmick, gimmick. It wasn't a deterrent. Oh, it wouldn't have worked. No chance, they say. But... North Macedonia. Step forward, North Macedonia. Starmer is now thinking of sending illegals to North Macedonia. No one's been for a long weekend in North Macedonia, anyone know? Got any plans to? No, you don't fancy it? Probably very nice this time of year, but there are some conditions, OK? So we will now also have to pay North Macedonia for every illegal migrant they accept, right? We're also going to have to pay for them to defend themselves against Russia, apparently. So the irony here is that Sir Keir Starmer cares about borders when it's somebody else's, of course, but our own border has been wide open for a few years now. The illegals will be allowed to work in North Macedonia, and they are free to leave whenever they want, which just begs the question, can they just come to Britain again? But anyway, I actually think this reveals something about the mindset of the Labour Party there. I think they might be a bit racist. Now, hear me out on this, OK? Rwanda, bad. We can't send people to an African country. Gosh, it would be inhumane. The Africans, they can't be trusted to treat them correctly. But North Macedonia, fine. Sure, it's a hugely corrupt country. Sure, it discriminates against minorities, especially the LGBT community. Sure, they have huge issues with free speech and media control. But hey, none of that matters. Do you remember when Sir Keir Starmer said this?
We are going to drive down migration, both legal and illegal. That will only be done with a serious plan. The only way to make it work is to smash the gangs that are running the vile trade.
OK, it's taken 18 months and we are right back where we started. He's just replaced the Rwanda word with the words North and Macedonia, hasn't he?
We're living in a time of what feels like pretty significant social change, and it makes us question things that we've even taken for granted for decades. And one of those at the moment that people are wondering about is actually money. Is the money in your bank account safe? Should you be investing elsewhere? Are we looking at a potential global crash? What will it mean for your savings? Is there a way that you could be using your money that might be outside of government control even? Well, TallyMoney is potentially one solution. So I'm delighted to say that I'm joined today by the CEO and founder of TallyMoney, Cameron Parry. What is TallyMoney?
Well, at TallyMoney, you basically get gold you can spend. So we give people an individual account in their name, everyday account. They get a sort code, an account number. They use that account just like they would pounds from their bank, but it's milligrams of gold that we brand as Tally.
OK. Why would you do that, though? What is the benefit to the customer instead of just having a normal pound sterling account?
Gold's performance against the pound is above 11% per annum over the last 25 years on average. But we still need money in our daily lives, and we have savings. We know that it's good common sense and prudent to save up for things, not just living credit. You know, whether it's a holiday or a rainy day, your retirement planning, you need to have money in your life, basically, that you can rely on, that's dependable, that nobody meddles with, that nobody can weaponise against you, which is another element of government control when it's the government currency, which we could talk about another time. And it should be pretty simple and straightforward, and that's what we deliver at Tally. And really, we just want people to feel safe and happy with their money. There was a time when the bigger your bank balance, the more confident you felt. Now it's like, I need to do something with it. I can't leave it there. In Tally, you can.
OK, brilliant. Cameron Parry from TallyMoney, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bev.
So, right, let's get the views of my panel on this. Russell, hey, North Macedonia, nice this time of year.
It does seem a bit odd, doesn't it, that within, 24 hours of taking government in July 2024, Keir Starmer cancelled the Rwanda scheme. And actually, despite what Yvette Cooper says there, the Rwanda scheme didn't actually take off. It didn't actually get put into place. So the £700 million, of course, that was wasted because of all the set-up costs, all the infrastructure costs, which I guess brings me nicely to the point, and sure this isn't lost on us, that if we have spent all that money on a scheme for Rwanda, albeit this is a slightly different scheme, this is about sending people to North Macedonia once they have and if they have their asylum claim rejected. So it's slightly different to the Rwanda scheme, which was about just sending people there to be processed. There is a differentiation, as I'm sure Barry will explain in a second. But if we've already spent £700 million on infrastructure, as in the setup, the process, whatever, why don't we just use Rwanda for this scheme? Because, and I'll tell you why, it's because the Labour Party don't want to do that because it was a Conservative scheme. It's politics, but at our expense.
OK, there is someone with a microphone, I believe, in the audience, is there? Hello, sir, how are you? So, what's your views on North Macedonia?
The thing is, where I'm seeing it is, where's the money coming from? So, I mean, we all of a sudden a £22 billion black hole, so all of a sudden we've now got, send them over there?
Money
Where's
for the North
money
Macedonians.
from? Yeah.
Do you think it might work, though? I mean, broadly, you're just in favour of trying something, though, do you think, like this?
Yeah, but it's not going to work, is it? We've got the, was it ECHR? They'll just throw that at us straight away. So, straight away, it's like, probably don't like chicken nuggets. I don't know. You know, that's probably what it is. If you don't like chicken nuggets,
don't like.
No
I'm not
worries.
sure what the North Macedonian cuisine is like, actually, but
it's nice.
It's probably very good. Near Greece, isn't it? I mean, it's probably lovely.
Like I went in from Thessalonica into North Macedonia, into Skopje, actually, which is the capital. I spent many happy hours in the Alexandra Palace with all the other foreign correspondents during the Kosovo crisis.
Gosh.
Mostly getting drunk in the evenings. Right. But, I mean, I think that the scheme could work. Because Macedonia has a great need for immigrants. It's got a massive problem in its construction industry and it needs a lot of workers. So they'll be only too happy to take more people in. But it will cost us money. But I think we do need to think about having offshore centres. And so you could be in a situation where you've got a win-win situation there.
Barry, are you in favour of North Macedonia?
Let me... you touched on the difference, but let me explain why it makes sense and why, for all the laughs that you've poked at it, Patrick, it actually does make sense because it is very different. When you were sending people to Rwanda, it was before they had had their case decided, OK? So you sent them there and they could only claim asylum in Rwanda. Right? They couldn't claim asylum here. They had to do it in Rwanda if they're going to do it. But we hadn't decided whether they were genuine or not. Under the North Macedonia scheme, we will be only sending people there who we've decided have no right to stay in the UK. Now, but we can't return them because where we would be returning them to is too dangerous. So we would be otherwise housing them, putting them up here, and we would have been saying to them, you've no right to stay here, but we can't put you back. And so instead of letting them stay here, what we're saying is we'll put you to North Macedonia where you'll be able to work. All the things that Linda said, they need the labour, they'll be able to work. You can establish a life there if you want to be an economic migrant, but you're not going to do it here in the UK. That's the difference between the two schemes. One, we've fulfilled our legal obligation to test whether they're genuine or not. In the other, we never were going to do that in the first place, which is why it was illegal under international law to send them to Rwanda.
Still expensive, though, isn't it?
Yeah, not that expensive, actually. Doesn't seem to me. Less expensive than putting them up here.
Go on, Christys.
I mean, it is the same, I think, as the principle of the Rwanda scheme. And I think that it's morally wrong to take the view that anyone making their way across the channel is illegal and that they should then be shipped up and sent across the waters, because of course it is. It's awful, and I've no problem calling out for what it is. Oh, sorry, those were the words of David Lammy over the Rwanda scheme. Oh, I am sorry, I got confused. Hang on. How about, here's another one. This is a gimmick that will not act as a deterrent. Oh, sorry, that was what Keir Starmer said about the Rwanda plan as well. And, the Rwanda scheme is dead and buried before it started. It's never been a deterrent. Starmer also said that as well. I mean, this is the point. They are complete and utter hypocrites. They gaslight you, because they will gaslight you to tell you that this is different. And you're right, you have pointed out one difference with it.
It's a critical one.
Well, yes, and it makes it worse, because actually what you should do is anyone that comes here over on a boat, you should then take to North Macedonia and process them, then decide if they are legitimate to come to the UK, because unfortunately what you'll end up happening is endless court appeals, endless ways in which people will still try and stay, so it won't be the deterrent that it is supposed to be. The one good thing about North Macedonia, though, is that it is landlocked, meaning they can't escape on a boat. So
there is, there is a fundamental flaw in this, of course, as we would expect from a Labour government idea, and that is that every year about 6,000 asylum seekers that have their application refused go missing. So how are we going to find those 6,000 a year in order to send them to North Macedonia? Because they disappear, they hide, and they live off the black economy. So there's a real problem here. You set up a process to take those people elsewhere, you won't know where they are.
Yeah, they take them straight to North Macedonia as soon as they come off the boat. And then they could
Which is the Rwanda scheme.
Yeah, but North Macedonia is closer. I mean, I actually think if they did that, there would be some. Do
we think it'll actually be a deterrent, though? I mean, this is the thing. I mean, you've made North Macedonia sound actually quite nice, to be fair.
Oh, it's very beautiful.
I found
I'm surprised you can remember, Linda,
yes,
all the
nice
drinking.
food. I can recover very quickly.
I've just found a CNN destination report on there, and it sounds absolutely beautiful.
It is
Delicious
beautiful.
food, great wine, no tourist crowds. There's still a beautiful southern European country. I mean,
birthplace of Alexander the Great.
Well, yeah, that's got a Greek connection as well. Anyone fancy a trip to North Macedonia? I'm sold.
Should we do a group, a show from North? I've been somewhere, got a taste for it now. I was in Wales
go
last
to
night.
the Alexander Palace.
Next
That
stop,
would be...
North Macedonia. Yes, might be a difficult one to get past the bosses there. All right, Barry. Practically speaking, do you think this will make any difference whatsoever to the migrant crisis?
I think it's part of a package of measures. Nothing is a silver bullet in this. Anybody who thinks this is simple, providing a simplistic solution that says, oh, just get the Navy to bomb them out the water in the Channel, all of this is nonsense, right?
Who would ever said that?
No one thinks that.
Well, you came very close to it in the last show, actually.
There's difference between intercepting and bombing. Come on.
What are you doing with them once you've intercepted them?
Right?
Anyway.
Do what Australia did. We had this argument last week.
The point is this. There isn't a simple solution. And there's a number of measures that we've got to do. We've got to work with other countries to make sure that we reform the 1951 Convention. We've got to do the sort of in-country processing that we've talked about before. There's lots of things that you need to do, as well as bearing down on the criminality. But anyone who thinks that there's one thing is just flying a kite.
OK, all right. Well, who here thinks we should have just pressed ahead with the Rwanda plan? Just put hands up. No? A few people? Yeah. Yeah. People were happy. So there was a report that came out recently, a couple of weeks ago, that said that they'd managed to calculate that more people were deterred from coming to Britain by the Rwanda plan than this one-in, one-out deal.
But you don't have to send thousands of people to Rwanda. So once you actually go through and execute on the plan and you send some people, that in itself is enough disincentive. So you just need to have a process, the same as there is still a Home Office website page live now that says, and I kid you not, asylum seekers, this is what you get if you come to Britain. It's literally an open invitation. Our hands and our arms are literally open and welcome.
Do you seriously think...
£46 a week. NHS, accommodation. If you're a pregnant woman, and of course, no women do come across, you get £300 in cash. We are literally advertising Britain as a soft touch to the rest of the world.
Russell, do you seriously think that all the people coming across the Channel can't count? Because the maximum that Rwanda could take was 400. So which migrant was going to say, oh, I better not go to
so
Britain?
How many can North Macedonia take then, Barry? What's the number?
That's why it's not the same scheme.
What's the number?
I've no idea, but it's not going to be huge numbers. But the point is,
but it's not a deterrent then, is it?
It's
taking. How's it a deterrent if you can't take many people?
It's taking people out of the UK who have no right to be here and putting them somewhere else to do their economic
business. This is like a
business.
gimmick, Barry, doesn't it? Don't you think?
No, it sounds like trying to make sure that people are not being put up in hotels at your and my expense.
Put them in camps at Dover.
When the courts have already said they have no right to be here. But the point is, no asylum seeker thought that Rwanda scheme could take them all. It couldn't, and that's why it would never have worked.
How's smashing the gangs going? How many gangs have you smashed so far in 18 months, Barry?
Actually,
you did arrest a guy on a Lilo, I think, in France.
Russell, it's all great fun, but
it's
actually,
not. It's a very serious thing.
20,000 different criminal groups have been disrupted by the police in Germany.
Where's the press releases?
Okay.
Why are the press not talking about who are the gangs? Where are they?
It is
which prisons are they in?
Okay,
which prisons are they?
All right, fair enough.
Sometimes it hits 40 degrees in North Macedonia. It's lovely. You get 9 to 10 hours.
And the food is lovely.
Mountainous areas as well.
It's not really a deterrent then. It's not a deterrent at all.
Please deport me to North Macedonia.
I'll pay.
Go on.
Okay, all right.